What's up, YouTube? I'm here with a review today of Chanel's fragrance Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. This fragrance was designed by Jacques Polge, Chanel's in-house perfumer. He worked on all of the Allure line, and I would say that, in my humble opinion, this is the best of the Allure line, with the original Allure Homme Sport coming a close second. But this is definitely the most popular of that Chanel line of fragrances, and in terms of overall Chanel fragrances, it's right up there alongside Bleu de Chanel as one of their top sellers. So if we go for a quick breakdown of the notes, the top notes of this fragrance are sage, mandarin orange, mint and cypress. The middle notes consist of pepper only, and the base notes consist of musk, sandalwood, cedar and tonka bean. So, giving you my opinions on the fragrance as a whole, it really opens up with a citrus burst, which is really the mandarin orange. But to me, it smells more lemony. I mean, I'll show you the atomizer, just to give you a quick spray of it there. So, pretty good atomizer on it as well. But the fragrance really opens up with this sort of citrusy burst, and you get a bit of mint in the background as sort of an undertone there. As the scent begins to dry down and settle on your skin, you're really left with this nice skin scent of tonka bean, sort of velvety smooth and vanilla smelling almost. So in terms of the fragrance's longevity, it's fairly long lasting. It's not as powerful as a fragrance like Dior Homme Parfum, but I would say you get between, well, at least I get between 7 to 9 hours out of this fragrance. Depending on how well your skin receives fragrance, you might get more, you might get 11, 12 hours. And then some people might get less, some people might get 5 or 6. But I would say ballpark, it's probably 7 to 9 hours. So you leave a nice scent trail around you for the first 3 to 4 hours, which is definitely one of the benefits of this fragrance. It leaves a really nice scent bubble in the initial phase. And then the dry down is very pleasant. So, I mean, you'll be smelling the fragrance close to your skin for pretty much the whole day, I would say, which I suppose is what you would expect from a high-end designer fragrance. So in terms of the setting and where I'd wear this, it's a very versatile fragrance. This is really the fragrance's strong point. I mean, you can dress this fragrance up. You could wear it at a fancy venue with a suit and tie, or you can dress it down. You can wear it casually as your sort of everyday go-to signature scent. So in that sense, it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife of a fragrance. I would say that the office setting is probably the setting that I would use this fragrance the most in. It's pleasant. It's not an offensive fragrance. You know, Dior Sauvage is quite popular at the moment, but I feel like that's something in that fragrance is too aggressive for a sort of laid back formal setting like the office. But I would definitely say this is a fantastic office scent, or if you're a university student, college student, whatever, or even in high school, you know, this is a brilliant go-to for your everyday fragrance. On to the negatives. I would say that the only obvious negative about this fragrance is the bottle. It's a nice design in terms of it's sleek and it's sort of silver, but you can't see the juice, and that's a problem for some people. I get that, because you don't want to shell out money on a fragrance. You can't see how much juice is in the bottle, but I can tell you from experience. I've had this fragrance for about a year and a half, and there's still a fair amount left. I'd say there's probably about 40 ml in there. I can't say for certain. And then the only other negative I would say about the bottle, and it's a small complaint of mine, is that there's no magnetic cap. It's just a standard clip-on cap, which is nothing fancy. You know, Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel have magnetic caps, which are a little bit nicer aesthetically and a little bit nicer to play with. But I would say those are really the only two downsides. I still think the bottle looks pretty sleek. I chipped it there, unfortunately, but it still has a nice appearance. Certainly wouldn't be out of place in any designer fragrance collection, or any fragrance collection in general, to be honest. So on to my concluding thoughts on the fragrance and why I think it would be a good idea to purchase it if you're sort of indecisive between this and something else. So it's you guys have heard the hype about this fragrance. Jeremy Fragrance has talked about it on numerous occasions. It's popped up in many of his top 10 lists, and it gets warranted hype. There's no question about that. It gets warranted hype. It's one of the best everyday go-to fragrances around, and I would say the real USP of this fragrance is the fact that it sets you apart from the generic sort of watery smelling scents like Bleu de Chanel and Dior Sauvage, which are so popular right now. And it's aimed at the same price point. So, you can go that route if those fragrances speak to you and your personality more. But if you want something a little bit more unique that's going to get people's attention and interest a little bit more, then I would definitely go the way of this fragrance here. In terms of similar fragrances, if you were looking at an alternative in this sort of price range, you can also look at Chanel's just original Allure Homme Sport. Now it's a little bit more lemony smelling than this particular model. It doesn't have the mint in it, and its projection isn't quite as good. It doesn't last as long. This is not the reformulation of Allure Homme Sport. This is a different fragrance entirely. But I would say this is almost a Allure Homme Sport amped up, given a boost, if you like. It's definitely the superior fragrance. But Chanel make fantastic products in general, so you really can't go wrong depending on what Chanel fragrance you choose to purchase. So anyway, I've got the lowest offer. If you click the link in the description below, you can purchase a bottle for the lowest price available on Amazon. Totally up to you. I mean, this fragrance, there's other fragrances out there, but I hope I've given you a fairly good breakdown of why this fragrance has attracted a fair amount of attention in recent years, and why I personally think it's one of the best signature scents that you can have for the designer price point right now. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe. Your support means a lot to me, and it'll allow me to keep making fragrance related content. I haven't made a video in a little while, but I hope to be coming out with a few more in the near future. So thanks for your time, guys. Appreciate it, and peace.